Well, we're here at Winston Heights Stormwater Pond. I'm with Jaspreet. Now, Jaspreet, you're with the City of Calgary Parks. You're a volunteer strategist, and we're really talking about parks today and pathway systems because there was a lot of damage done during the flooding in June.
Absolutely. So we had numerous parks affected. We had debris everywhere. The water was rising. We had a lot of just random things in the parks, different kind of debris from garbage cans to in Sue Higgins we had an oil tank float in. So we had a lot of different stuff wash up.
Unbelievable. And a lot of people think, you know, they know of the odd park where there was damage if they live by it, but they're probably not aware that 30 parks were closed and over 93 kilometers of pathways. That's extensive in our city.
Yeah, absolutely. It's a huge chunk of our parks, and I think one of the big pieces about it is that there's a whole lot of different elements to each of the parks, whether it's a natural park, whether we have the pathway system. So there's a lot of different factors to consider in each one of those parks and how they were impacted.
And now parks like Princess Island Park, of course, that is used for public events on a regular basis, that was in really rough shape.
That was absolute devastation, and I know the folks, from the Folk Festival, they knew they were out there helping. We had 250 plus volunteers out there doing their work, helping, supporting to get that up and running. It is a manicured park, so they were able to do different things. And since Folk Fest and after the summer's gone on,
right,
some of those natural banks, we've had a lot of volunteers doing planting and helping with the restoration work down there.
Okay, now Jaspreet, how would you say, as the volunteer strategist for City of Calgary Parks, how would you say we've done in terms of volunteers coming out and giving back and trying to get those parks and pathways back in order?
Phenomenal. I have to say the response has been absolutely phenomenal. We've had so many people expressing their interest, whether it's to get their park up and running, whether it's to get a different park up and running, but they all want to support. And we haven't even been able to utilize all the volunteers just because of some of the different dynamics, but we're trying hard, and you know what? It's not going to stop. We have a lot more going on that's going to happen in the spring as we go through a winter.
Okay, and even being here in Winston Heights Storm Pond, we can see there's been a lot of stuff planted. It's not a really extremely manicured park, but you can see that even volunteers have been out here.
Yeah, absolutely. And this was one of the sites that we were going to have volunteers, and I think it was the weekend of the flood, so they weren't able to come out, and we were able to recruit a bunch of people to help us out here after the flood to get it going. And all of these things, the little efforts that help, whether they're flood related or unflood related, really helps parks to maintain our beautiful green spaces.
Okay, Jaspreet's going to hang out with us, and later in the show we're going to talk about some of the need for volunteers, a little bit of a call for volunteers to get out there and help if you haven't already, or if you just have some spare time and you want to give back a little bit more. We're going to be back with more City Matters on Go Calgary after this.